Yeah, no, I pretty much wanted to stay out of politics as much as I can on this page and mostly share music content. But I'm gonna have to say, somewhat music related, and also that booking request I got yesterday from Israel. Well, I mean, appreciate if people think about my old music or whatever, got me quite rallied up, or even more. The reactions I got afterwards from other artists got me rallied up a lot. So I got a few things to say about that. First of all, what I have to say is, if you are an artist from a privileged place, which is pretty much every place that is not involved actively in a war right now, then it is not okay to go to Israel and play there. There's a genocide happening. There is 10,000s of people getting murdered. There is people getting murdered every day. And to do that for just a few bucks is not okay. If you don't know what is happening, if you don't know history, at this time, you choose not to know. And what is also absolutely not okay is having raves in Israel at the moment. You're having raves a few kilometers away from where people are getting murdered? Ignoring the situation? What is wrong with you people? Have some fucking respect. And think about what's happening. Think about who you're playing for. Think about who you are raving with. Even if you are not in the IDF, if you're not supporting your government, if you maybe even actively fight against your corrupt, fascist, racist government, then you will still party with young IDF soldiers on leave who probably hours or days ago were murdering innocent people in Gaza, in Lebanon, in the West Bank, shooting rockets into Syria, Yemen, Iraq, and other places. And you want to party with these people? You want to help them forget, enjoy life? Have some peaceful moments before they go back murdering more people? What the fuck is wrong with you people? And that's even one thing. What you Israelis do there, your thing, make it out of your conscience. I can't stop you from having raves. But if you were from here or any other privileged place and you choose to go there for a few bucks, or just because you're fucking ignorant or because you have no morals, you're fucked. I'm sorry, it's not okay. People yesterday and today, they write me like, oh, don't be like that. These people, they're not the one doing the murdering. Well, yeah, maybe not actively, but somehow involved, or at least not trying to stop it. The extent of hate toward Arabs and Palestinians in Israel is on a level that almost everybody there thinks that they are not humans, that they're animals. I mean, I've been there enough. I had these conversations enough. And yes, I used to go there, and I used to play there quite a lot. From 2005 to 2009, I played a whole bunch of gigs. I came there as a young, German-raised hippie. You know, in Germany, you grow up with German guilt. And you get raised with a very positive idea of Israel, based on guilt and of other generations. So I went there, and yeah, I can't deny I liked it in the beginning. They party very well, they dance a lot. There is good food. Me not knowing that most of it is stolen as much as the land is stolen, or at least big parts of it. Anyway, I enjoyed it. I ignored history, or didn't know about history. I had a lot of good moments. I had a lot of fucked moments. I got screwed over. I got cheated. Like nowhere else in the world, actually. But yeah, I kept going. But then I also had like some key experiences while being there, you know. First of all, that Arab hate seemed very suspicious to me. With the values I grew up, you can never generalize about all people being bad. As much as I'm not saying all Israelis are bad. I have some very good friends, some pure-hearted, good people. Most of them choose to leave the country because they can't stand it anymore. But there's even there some, you know, there's some very beautiful kibbutz, some of them, socialist ideas. Some even have anarchist ideas. They're not, obviously not all bad people. But then, you know, listening to all these conversations of how Arabs are animals, how they are bad, started to make me think. And then there was a key moment. Someone that I stayed with, someone that was somehow my friend, and that I knew we were tripping after a party. And he tells me about his time in the special forces and how he went into a house in the West Bank and just shot the family father without knowing if he's a danger, without knowing if he's a criminal or like what they call terrorist. You could also call it resistance fighter, whatever you want to call it. And how it was okay that he just shot them because all Arabs are animals and they're all criminals anyway, so just shoot them. You know, that was 2006. And that, like, you know, with the values I grew up with the morals I had already back then, I was like, okay, something's really wrong here. So I went back to Europe and I started looking into history. And also, luckily, I had some friends back then who were like already quite informed for the time and age about history and about Zionism and about what it all means. And when I was talking supposedly about my first kick experience there, and all, they were like, Uncle, okay, but do you know about history? Maybe look up, you know, maybe find some information. And after these key experiences, I did. And I started to inform myself. Then I still went a few more times, you know, telling myself all the same lies that everyone tells themselves. Yeah, not all of them are bad, you're boycotting the wrong people, blah, blah, blah. But then 2009, I went for the last time back then, and I had some more key experiences, witnessing all that racism, fascism, apartheid, and all these things that I also saw them before, but I kind of wanted to ignore them. And that made me more and more look into things. And then while being there, I had some more conversations and already like being politically informed. I was like, fuck, I cannot stand it anymore. I was supposed to play a couple of shows, but already after the first or second one, I was like, fuck, I need to get out of here. With another friend who was there too, who also wanted to get out. So we bought flights on our own money just to get fuck out of the country. And after that, I was like, okay, that's it. You know, I need to support the Palestinian people. I started to speak with my friends about it. I started to try educating people. As a German passport holder, if you try to educate people about the topic back then, they looked at you like you were like baby Hitler, you know? So I was more careful in the beginning, but as interest I got, as more information I collected about what's going on, as more I didn't care, you know? I got raised with values where when you see something is completely wrong, you have to speak up. And that's what I started doing. And also, I decided to boycott the day that I left Israel in 2009. I was like, fuck that. I'm not going to play here anymore. So, but what happened is, in 2018, I had a phase where I kind of like got less involved in things. 2014, in the one invasion, I was a bit more involved. Then, I don't know, I had some times, and also a lot of like Israeli friends over here who also like told me their part of the history. Anyway, I don't know what happened to me when I got this booking request. I guess it was mostly greed or like, you know, I needed the money. So I took this one booking request from very nice people. They do nice parties. They have a good heart. They're good people. So I told myself, the same lies everyone is telling themselves who are still going to play there, or at least the ones that have a little bit of conscience. There's a lot of people who just don't fucking care. But you tell yourself, the people you're playing for are not the bad ones. These people are not hardcore Zionists. They don't hate Arabs. But the reality is, it's not true. Because already after a couple of hours in the country, the first people I met, not the ones I played for, but the first people I met, the things they told me, the things they said about Arabs and about political situations in general, fucking made me aware again and remember why I'm not going there. But I was there, I was anyway just staying for 2 days. So I was like, what to do? I cannot get out here earlier, so I'm going to play. I'm going to take my money and I go. I'm going to donate some of it later, which I also did. But I was there. So I went to the party. I played my set. And I had more conversations with with people. I even actively tried to avoid political conversations and topics because I know myself. I get easily rallied up. And I might get in discussions with people that it's not worth having discussions with. Anyway, I managed to stay calm, but the things that people say, if you actually listen and you want to understand the generalized hate of Arabs, of Palestinians, even of other, let's keep it with that, is mind-blowing. The level of brainwash is mind-blowing. And I'm sorry, but even in these raves, especially in the psytrance waves, I think, but also outside people I talked with, they do believe that many of them believe that all Arabs are subhumans, that all Arabs are animals, and that they deserve to die and that they have no place in their native country. Israel is a colonized state. It bases on apartheid. And a lot of things there are really wrong. So no, there is no good reasons to go and play there. And especially after the current Gaza invasion, now nobody, and I mean nobody, can, by their right mind, tell me they don't know what is going on. If you don't know, you choose actively to look away. You choose actively to ignore. And there's no excuse for that. There is no explanation. It doesn't matter if you have a lot of fans there. It doesn't matter if a lot of the people in the party are good people, because there will be good people. It's, if you play there, you're normalizing a situation that cannot be normalized. This has to stop. That corrupt government has to be stopped. They have to go to jail. There has to be a restart. It cannot go on like that. And no, you should not have raves kilometers away from where people get murdered. You should not play for young IDF soldiers who are just murdering people. It's not okay. It's fucked. Think about it. It's fucked.